I'm Robert Winston, I work at Imperial College, and I'm going to answer, or try to answer, some of the questions that you've asked us, complicated things about biology. Adam, aged 11, asked, why do we have to have blood? Why can't we just have water? Well, if you just have water, you'd probably sink if you went into your bath. No, but seriously, blood is really quite a complicated fluid. It's got lots of cells in it, and those cells are red cells, which carry the oxygen to your muscles, and they carry carbon dioxide away from your body to your lungs. And also, of course, you have white cells in your blood, and so all these cells are needed to protect life, and water can't allow cells to live. So you have to have something which is the right concentration of various salts to make certain the cells are capable of living in blood, and blood is ideally suited to do that. Carty, aged 13, asks one of the most tricky questions in the whole of medicine. How does anaesthesia work? The answer is, truthfully, we really don't know. We don't know exactly how anaesthetics affect the brain and put you to sleep. It's a fascinating question. Anaesthetists have done lots of research to try and find out the reason, but I've never had a satisfactory explanation, and I don't think there has been one that's really been published yet. Keep asking the question. Anjali, age 17, from London, asked, what's the purpose of airwax? Anjali, there's absolutely no purpose in airwax at all. And just be aware that don't put foreign bodies in your air to try and remove the airwax, because that actually can cause quite a lot of damage. But, you know, I would argue that the best thing to do is to keep your airs reasonably clean. Georgia, age 12, asked, why do we have pores on our skin? Well, there are several reasons why the pores are useful. Apart from anything else, the pores allow you to sweat because you have sweat glands in your skin, and those are connected to the pores. And of course, that's part of your heat regulation. So when it's very hot, you don't get overheated. And when you're very cold, those pores shut down. And also, the pores also supply other oils which lubricate the skin, and that actually makes your skin more healthy. Sophie, age 12, from Croydon, asked, is it genetically right to modify humans? Well, I think that's something that you need to have a debate about in school. It's a very risky thing, I think, to enhance humans, try and make them more intelligent, perhaps, make them more strong, make them more beautiful by changing their genes. Because if you make a mistake, you'd end up with a very abnormal person, and you could do fatal damage to that person. Moreover, of course, anything which changes somebody genetically is permanently inherited. So there are real risks about genetic modification, which is one of the reasons why scientists have agreed to ban it for the time being. Jack from Derbyshire, who's 17, who says, if I was in his shoes, a 17-year-old A-level student, what project idea would I like to take forward and research for the National Science and Engineering competition? Well, Jack, I'm not going to give you an answer to that question. I'd simply say, do what really interests you. If you're interested in engineering, try making some complex model where you can measure different things mathematically, for example. If you're interested in biology, why not go to your local pond and see what species are in the pond? If you're interested in chemistry, then maybe you might want to go and look to see how industrial processes, for example, change carbon dioxide, and write an essay about that. I think there are a whole range of things that you can do, but it very much should depend on your interests. If I was going to give you one piece of advice in life, you don't have to be brilliantly clever to do science. In fact, I'm perfectly ordinary. I'm not a particularly clever person. But what I did do was to follow what interested me, and that's a very important thing to try and do in life. Thank you very much indeed for the questions. Some of them are really interesting. The more you do science, and the more you discover, and the more you investigate in the world, the more complicated it becomes, and sometimes the less you understand about it. That's why science is worth doing.